So here we go. Recording. Right, so this is our 29th featured guest. So it's every week, every Friday between 2 and 3 o'clock Central European time. And we've had some fantastic guests, all sorts of diverse people, very interesting topics and great people. It's all part of creating a more awareness and visibility of who you are, particularly in 𝗏𝗏𝗏. It's kind of an 𝗏𝗏𝗏 program as well, in the way that 𝗏𝗏𝗏 represent this as well. So you can reach out to them. And it's about creating the visibility for people that come into 𝗏𝗏𝗏 and just sit there and nobody knows who they are. So this is an opportunity to be on the spotlight for an hour, right? But in a kind of different way. It's more friendly and fun, and you'll see as we go through. So those new people, if you want to be a guest, then you're more than welcome. Just let me know, or let someone in 𝗏𝗏𝗏 know, and then we'll schedule you in. We're fully booked now, apart from next week. Up until the end of January on Fridays. So some people here have been guests and some are going to be guests, and others hopefully will be guests. So our guest today, drum roll for 𝗪𝗏𝗧. Right, she is our 29th. So we've been doing it for 29. Yeah, we've been doing it for 29 weeks. And 𝗪𝗏𝗧, very interesting story about her. So we typically started off with the first 10 to 15 minutes about 𝗪𝗏𝗧, who 𝗪𝗏𝗧 is, where she's from, a bit of background about her, delve into some of her private life that she's willing to share. And then we transition across into her business, what she's doing now, how she helps people, and any challenges that she's got that we as a community can help her with. Right, all clear, everyone? Any questions before we go? No. Right. So 𝗪𝗏𝗧, spotlight on you. So I know a lot about you because we had a long conversation before, and we knew each other also beforehand. So we probably met, 3 years ago or something like that.
Yeah, November 17 at the Industry Rockstar Start at the Top conference.
All right, in Zurich.
Yeah.
Right. So we've come on our separate journeys, but together. So we've learned a lot, got lots of common friends in that respect, and seen other struggling entrepreneurs on their journeys. So 𝗪𝗏𝗧, before we go into anything like that, tell me a bit about you. And because you're a fellow Scot.
Yeah.
So believe it or not, I'm Scottish. I'm from Edinburgh originally. And so is 𝗪𝗏𝗧. So I'm handing over to you now. So 𝗪𝗏𝗧, tell us a bit about you.
Okay, so I was born in Glasgow, and
oh, Glasgow.
Glasgow, yeah. I'm Glaswegian.
No. Can't talk to you now then.
No, well, next time I see you, I'll give you a Glaswegian kiss.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. When I was 7, we moved to a new town just outside of Edinburgh called Livingston, and then so I grew up round about. It was much closer to Edinburgh, so I spent my formative years in the pubs and the music bars in Edinburgh, being a sort of rock chick. So I was always into like rock and motorbikes and things like that.
So just quickly on that, a rock chick. So what sort of music were you into in those days?
Rock music.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, any particular bands?
Led Zeppelin, AC/DC, just anything.
Oh, right, okay. You went into the Bay City Rollers then?
That was when I was a bit younger, but they actually lived not far. They actually lived not far from us, and one of the girls was so obsessed she actually went to their house, and one of the Bay City Rollers shot her with an air pistol right between the head.
Really?
Right between the eyes. I mean, she wasn't. She wasn't. She had a big bruise. Yeah. It was all over the papers, because she'd been shot with an air pistol by one of the Bay City Rollers.
Yeah, I had some tartan trousers.
I've actually got tartan trews on just now.
Yeah. Oh, wow. You are a rock chick. You're still a rock chick.
Where's your trousers?
Yeah, so lucky you're not speaking with your Glaswegian accent, because we wouldn't understand you.
All right. No, if it is a challenge for anyone, I will just tell me and I will slow down, because I do know that when I start to speak a bit faster, the accent comes out a little bit more. So
Aye.
just
𝗬𝗢𝗨𝗥. Right. Okay. So.
So I grew up around motorbikes and things, and I actually left school at 16 because I came from a family where going to university wasn't an option, and actually working in a factory was. I sort of broke the mold. I refused to go in a factory, and I started work in an office. And then, so I worked in just a small office. Then I moved to the civil service, and I was in the civil service for about 7 years. But then I decided, it's not for me. I wanted to get my A-level type equivalent things. So I actually left work and went back to college to get my A-levels. And I thought I always wanted to be an accountant. And during this time, I'd been doing a lot of voluntary work with handicapped children, people, handicapped swimming clubs, and my neighbour had a handicapped child, so I was actually a carer for him. So I thought, oh, well, maybe I want to work in social work. So I actually got a job in a new programme called Family Focus, and it was in the social work department, and you looked after handicapped children, but in their own homes, and you would just do anything that the parents would do. So it could be physiotherapy, could be feeding, could be bathing, anything. And if the child was sick, you would maybe wash the windows or help to do shopping or something. It was just, you were there as a family help. But after 4 years, after 3 years, I decided that actually I wanted to go back to be an accountant, because the social work department life wasn't for me. So I went part-time in the social work department and then full-time to university to do accountancy.
But anyway, hats off to, all that social work. That's pretty tough going, particularly for so long. Well,
it's I did 4 years in total, but it was just the frustration of not being able to help people when you can see something wasn't quite right. So that was, so I went back, became did my accountancy degree, and then basically started work with 𝗬𝗢𝗨𝗥. So worked there actually in a couple of innovative businesses within. So I actually built the framework for an innovative business within 𝗬𝗢𝗨𝗥. And it was when roaming technology started on phones. So roaming, when you go to a country, it says, welcome to this country, and give you information. And I was in this group that started this technology.
Oh, very good. So we have to thank you for the ability to use our phones abroad now.
Yeah, well, they developed the technology.
Yeah, thanks, Rowena. I think you influenced that. So you've enabled millions of people to be able to communicate globally.
Yeah. I set up their finance systems with, so it's setting up an entrepreneurial business within a large business.
Ah, so you ripped us off for those roaming charges.
No, they actually, they weren't telecoms. They were actually the ones that were creating the software to track your phone to see how many people were on the network, and how, so they could apply more resources to it, so there was less downtime, that sort of thing.
Spying on this as well.
The job actually started changing, and I had the option to go and work in factory finance in Scotland, or else go to Barcelona to work in the finance centre. And I thought, I don't actually want to do either, because the factory finance wasn't innovative enough for me. And Barcelona, I liked it, but I didn't want to live there. So I looked for a job and found one in Switzerland. So I came to Switzerland, and then I worked with them for 5 years, but it was...
Okay, so you came to Switzerland when, in what year?
2001.
All right. But did you speak French at the time?
No, not at all.
But you do now?
Yes, yeah.
All right. And German as well?
No, I speak a little bit of German. 𝗦𝗢𝗊𝗨𝗥.
That's the same as mine, and I've been here for 15 years or something.
Actually, I went to a motorbike rally in Germany, and it was about, I don't know, 15 years ago. And we got there and we were supposed to be meeting our friends there, and no one spoke any English whatsoever. So I had to pull up my schoolgirl German, and I spoke in like the present tense all night, but you know, we got by. It was quite.
So yeah, about bikes, I mean, you said you were into bikes kind of when you were younger as well. So you've always been this kind of rock chick and
Yeah.
into motorbikes.
Yeah.
So but you ride a bike as well?
Yeah. Actually, when I was 21, I broke both my wrists and my leg in a motorbike accident. I ran into the back of a car and went flying over the top and broke both my wrists and my leg. So
Wow.
that was a bit challenging, going to the toilet and washing your armpits.
Yeah. So that was you on the bike only? You weren't on the back of a bike?
No, I was driving. And now I have a Triumph Tiger 800.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've had a few bikes as well. And
Yeah.
I had a similar accident as well. I came over the brow of a hill and there was already an accident on the side of it. And I couldn't see it because it was already there, and went straight into the back of a car. But it flew me over the top and down the road.
Yeah.
But
that's the sort of thing.
I was
like the air with the regatta stubbies.
Yeah, but I made sure, I mean, I was one of these bikers that didn't take the risks. Well, to a certain degree, but I had all my leather gear on and everything, fully protected. So I just walked away with a few scratches.
Yeah, no, I don't know why. Well, I had my leather gear on, but it didn't stop me breaking bones.
Yeah, you hit something. I missed the car. I went over the top of it.
All right, okay. No, the bike hit the car, and then, you know, I obviously didn't let go in time.
Yeah, I think it happened so quick. I don't remember letting go. I was just thrown off the bike, catapulted off it. So, but anyway, we digress. So now, so let's just go back a bit. I mean, you're not one child. I mean, you've got siblings as well.
Yeah, I've got. Well, I had two sisters, and like one passed a few years ago, and so I've got three brothers and a sister now.
Right, but you're the fifth child of six.
Number 5, yeah. Come in number 5.
Yes. So, and you kind of broke the mold. I mean, in the way that you didn't do what your parents wanted you to do. So, were you the rebel in the family?
I suppose I wasn't really the rebel, but it just I refused to work in a factory and disappointed my parents by that. And then I actually went to university later on. So, and that I was the first one to go to university. My older sister actually went to university after me. But,
okay. Did any of the family live abroad, or was it just you?
Just me.
Right. So you ventured out.
Yeah.
Right. So there's an interesting story you're going to tell us about how you met your husband.
Oh yeah. Again, it's motorbikes involved here. So it was 1997 and it was February, and I went camping to this motorcycle event in a castle just outside of Edinburgh. And one of my oldest friends had brought a friend with him, and I thought he was quite nice. And I thought, oh, well, maybe he'll have a lot in common with my friend. So I tried to match make, but it didn't work. So that was in February. And then in April, I'd actually just split up with my boyfriend, but I had to go to the Netherlands because I was going to Belgium on business with 𝗬𝗢𝗨𝗥. And I was on the back of my ex-boyfriend, and it was a bit challenging. So we got the ferry from Newcastle to 𝗦𝗘𝗘𝗞. And then we went to this motorbike event, and there was this guy again. And, you know, so I spoke to him on the Friday night, and he said, oh, I'm going to bed now. And then I saw him about an hour later with his friends, and I thought, oh, well, he didn't want to speak to me. And it was because I was like moaning, oh, my boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, that sort of thing. So that was April. And then in September, I was going up to the place called 𝗪𝗡𝗡𝗞, which is the most westerly point of the British Isles. And we're going to motorbike rally there. And I was sitting in a place called in Tyndrum. And I was sitting on my motorbike outside the Green Welly shop. If anyone's been up that way, though, it's famous. And I had my helmet on, you know, so my eyes were like down here. And I looked like the Michelin woman because I had so many clothes on because September is cold and wet. And then these two motorbikes came in and the guy took his helmet off and I thought, oh, I recognise him. And I thought, I'm not speaking to him, that's him. So the upshot was we drove on up to the motorbike rally. And then all night I kept saying, I'm not speaking to him, I'm not speaking to him, but, you know, keeping an eye on him, do you know what I mean? And then finally, you know, we got together. He said, can we have a drink? We had a drink. He said, can I walk you back to your tent? I said, no. He said, I'll be a perfect gentleman. Okay then. And then he said, can I come into your tent? No, definitely not. I promise, perfect gentleman, I'll bring my own sleeping bag. I thought, right, okay then. And he was the perfect gentleman. And so we started going out. But actually, the next day, we went over to the ferry. We took the ferry because in 𝗪𝗡𝗡𝗞, you can get a ferry over to an island called Mull. Mm-hmm. And we got on the ferry. And actually, it turns out it was an old friend of mine who was the captain.
Wow.
So we actually got to drive the ferry over to Mull. Well, or steer it.
That's the 𝗪𝗡𝗡𝗧.
Yeah.
Like if you
no, sorry, it's not the Mull of 𝗘𝗔𝗖𝗛, it's the island of Mull. Mull of 𝗘𝗔𝗖𝗛 is actually much further south.
Okay then. I was just going to sing this song, you see, by the Beatles. But
saved!
You've saved everyone. Yeah, so you met him and then you fell in love. I mean, everything was intense, I guess.
Well, we got married in just over...
I'm joking. Everything was intense.
Oh, yeah. Actually, do you know what?
You've lost your humour.
No, do you know what? I'm a part of the Hash House Harriers. Does anyone know this running group?
No.
It's a sort of fun running group. You go walking or running, and then halfway round you stop for a beer, and then you have a beer at the end and go for dinner. And everyone gets really silly names. And my name is Intent Sex because I like camping.
Well, Switzerland's a good place for camping.
Is it?
Well, I don't know. You tell me.
No, I don't camp that much in Switzerland. We tend to go. Well, we go to France, and but saying that we're hiring a camper van next week to go for 3 weeks. Following the night from the 19th, we're going the route de Saint-Jacques to Santiago de Compostela.
Wow. Yeah. Now, we've done lots of camping as well with the kids, and for the first time in the summer, and that was an experience because we'd forgotten how to camp. So we didn't even have the plug to plug into the electric. We just took a normal extension lead from home thinking you can plug it in, and it doesn't work. So we had an experience.
Yeah.
But it wasn't freezing cold. It was the opposite, too hot. And we needed to go and buy some fans to keep the tent cool. But anyway.
Yeah.
We digress. So camping, you still do camping then?
Yeah, and in the winter as well, especially.
But not in a tent in the winter.
Yes.
In a tent?
Yeah. As long as you've got really good carry mats, underneath, and good sleeping bags. It's lovely. It's that you have a little cold nose. It's really...
But there's places open for camping in the winter.
It tends to be more motorbike rallies, motorbike events, because most campsites.
You don't go on your bikes anymore, not in the winter.
Yeah.
You got winter tires on your motorbike.
No, because how much snow is there?
Yeah, I'm a fair weather biker now. You see, so mine goes away for the bad weather. If it's raining, I don't even get on it.
Yeah.
It's only got to be sunny degree over 16 degrees.
So what sort of bike do you have now then?
Oh, I don't actually. I have a coffee machine. We wanted a new coffee machine, And my wife said, you never use that bike anymore. And I said, well, I can't with 3 kids. It's impossible to get on it. Every time I want to go on it, it's like no, you're with the kids or something. So having 3 small kids, it never got used. And we needed a new coffee machine. So I sold the bike and we got a coffee machine. And the coffee machine gets used at least 3 times a day. So it gets more use. So the bike is now a coffee machine.
Yeah. I've got a coffee machine as well.
Yeah, but you don't have 3 kids running around. Right, so anyway, let's kind of move over now into your business before we forget why we're having the call. So I mean, there's some great things about that. So you kind of changed. So you went into accountancy, kind of finance sort of stuff, and you worked with many companies. You worked with 𝗬𝗢𝗨𝗥, then you went to work for Philips. You stayed in the Netherlands, and tell us.
Well, I didn't want to stay in the Netherlands, so I left Philips because they were in Geneva, and I was part of Agilent, and the medical division was sold to Philips, and then they were in Geneva, and then they decided to move the medical division back to the Netherlands, and I didn't want to go. So, I did go and visit a few times to do the handover, but I didn't want to live there. So I was unemployed after that.
So then you changed jobs then? So
yeah, to 𝗬𝗢𝗨𝗥, they make software for the airline industry.
Okay, so let's kind of fast forward a bit. So into what you're doing now. So how did you get into what you're doing now, and tell us what that is?
Okay, so I've created a company called 𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗏 Rocks. Now, 𝗏𝗧 is slang for food, but it's also an acronym of not only slim but healthy. And rocks, when something's good, it rocks. I love food, it's just amazing. But it's also a short for Rose, an acronym for Rose Carb Cutting Kickstart. 7 years ago, I lost an old friend to bowel cancer. It was one of my first boyfriends, and who I met on a motorbike, and so he died of bowel cancer in his early 50s, and it woke me up as to why we're getting sick at younger ages. And I came to the conclusion that the food chain and what we're eating and what we're putting in and on our bodies was not supporting our health. So I changed my eating habits, and with really good effects. Without dieting, I lost over 25 kilos.
Wow.
But it was the reduction in inflammation, because I've got scoliosis in my back, and I used to be like excruciating pain for a week, 10 days, 14 days. So that disappeared. Your moods were better, more energized, no colds or flus, just amazing health benefits. And so then 4 years ago, I decided to turn it into, to see if I can turn it into a business. And I have been, maybe not progressing it as much as I did, but 3 years ago, I became a low-carb lifestyle coach with the Real Meal Revolution. And there I learned so much about the impact of food, the positive impact that food can have in your body if you use it well. And then during lockdown, I came across 𝗪𝗔𝗍𝗪 because I was trying to clear some limiting beliefs. And so I became a rapid transformation hypnotherapist. And this has actually made the link, because just before lockdown, I had developed a course, an 8-week challenge, to help people understand what's in their food, the impact on their body, and then how to make a change. And it was in the form of a learn, cook and dine course. So each week we'd have an apéro, what I consider healthy, with good like butter and cheese and vegetables and meat and just gluten-free crackers, biscuits, that sort of thing. Then I would demonstrate something. I'd show them how to make gluten-free cakes, or how to make a patty out of seeds and things like that. And then we'd go into a room and we'd look at a video of the latest science around the topic. But during the during this first part as well, when we were having the apéro, people would discuss how they were getting on, because what I have created is something called a rite of passage to radiant health. And it's a step-by-step way to change your eating habits permanently. It's not a diet, it's a change of eating habits. But what I had found was there was a piece missing about motivation and self-belief that people can do it and they deserve to have this radiant health. And I feel that with this rapid transformation hypnotherapy, it sort of brought it all together. So now I want to change what I'm doing from a body transformation challenge to a mind and body transformation challenge, really holistically using rapid transformation hypnotherapy. You can just give people that self-belief and, you know, that motivation to understand what's in their food and make positive changes to their daily life.
Yeah, I think that's excellent, because a lot of diets that we've seen, they kind of like take these supplements or whatever, or cut out carbs, or cut out this or whatever, cut out the things that you like, and then you give up on that because there's no motivation to doing it, and you're depriving yourself of things that you like.
Yeah.
And therefore you'll be drawn back into those things because you miss them. So by having something that is not, everything's about your mind, your mindset as well, because also becoming a business entrepreneur, right? You might have the tools and ability to do something, you might be the expert, but if you don't have the mindset, then you can fail as well. So I think all of this is connected. So that kind of missing ingredient then it is something that's valuable. So you actually practice that now as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, I just try and show people, like, you know, you make these delicious chocolates with raw cocoa powder, with pumpkin seeds, with coconut oil or ghee, and maybe use a sweetener such as erythritol or xylitol, whatever your preference is, that doesn't impact your blood glucose level. But not only is this delicious, it's high in zinc, it's got magnesium, it's calcium, it's protein, it's incredible, nutrient rich, and it's delicious, you know. So
you make your own chocolate?
Yeah, it's a sort of ganache type chocolate.
Yeah. But you just make it for yourself, or you make it for other people?
No, because what I'm trying to do is trying to inspire people to take responsibility for their own health, because we've given the responsibility away, and now, you know, if I start making products, then, you know, people's mindset doesn't change. We need a paradigm shift to help people to actually change, understand, and change the way of eating.
Yeah, exactly. And we've kind of become comfort eaters as well, in the way that fast foods and more junk food and things. I'm not saying that I'd want to give up on a lot of things that I like, but there has to be some healthy eating as well. And if I went back to kind of when I was a kid at school and like at home, we used to have kind of the meat and two veg and more healthier food than we have today. And yeah, there's been so much controversy around food. I mean, sometimes they say like, these are things that are good for you, next thing they're bad for you, then, oh, no, sorry, they're really good for you. And then, so you're kind of confused as to what you should eat and why you should eat it. And also when it comes to vitamins, which you're going to come on to, I guess, in a minute, you talked about vitamin B and zinc and stuff. I have no idea. Should I take it? Shouldn't I take it? I mean, so I think everybody needs someone like you just to give them some guidance on what we should and shouldn't be eating and how we should look after our health.
Yeah, I mean, I you know, I'm not a nutritionist, so I don't, you know, I'm a food chain detective. I'm Europe's first food chain detective, helping you to find fabulous food that rocks your body. But I mean, I can show you how to make food that's got that comfort of junk food, but it's a gourmet taste, but it's got the impact of superfood. And, you know, so I just like to ask you, who considers when they're preparing food for the day, or when they're eating, who considers it what nutrients are actually in their food. Does anyone think about it? Oh.
I do. It is Eva. I do every time. Yes.
Yeah.
So I think that what you're saying is just very, very important. It's key.
Yeah, no, we really need to consider, are we eating for energy, or are we just are we actually nourishing our bodies? Because a lot of people, you actually crave food, or you have cravings because your body's not getting the vitamins and minerals that it needs. And you actually need to have good fat to absorb, for example, A, D, E, and K. So, and utilize these. So it's important to have good fat. It's important to have a lot of like green leafy vegetables, you know, because they have vitamin C, vitamin A, vitamin E, and vitamin K, you know, so, and it's not about having fruit juice, because that's really not good for our bodies at all. And fruit minimum, and certainly not dried fruit. So it's just
not dried fruit.
Sorry?
Not dried fruit?
Dried
so these
fruit
bags you get in these sealed bags you get with dried fruit, it's not good for you?
No, not at all. It's 80% fructose, and also they're often covered in seed oils. So and seed oils, you know, if they're not cold pressed organic, then they're usually oxidized. So it creates, the fructose in the seed oils actually, they've discovered that it creates fat on the liver, which leads to reduces your metabolism.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a chocolate junkie, right? I absolutely love chocolate, right? If I don't eat chocolate every day, then I have a craving for chocolate. But
there's chocolate and there's chocolate.
I need some of your chocolate.
Yeah, because I mean, there was actually a program on Swiss TV a couple of weeks ago talking about chocolate, and they're talking about lecithins, which are in the chocolate, because, you know, instead of putting cocoa butter in or coconut oil, they're putting soya lecithin, sunflower lecithin, and they're saying that these are actually causing irritable bowel syndrome and other things. And that was on Swiss TV a couple of weeks ago. So, I mean, it's, you know, choose your chocolate well, you know, just make sure it's just cocoa butter, you know, sugar and cocoa powder.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm not one for any of this fancy Belgian chocolate stuff. I don't like all this like really sweet stuff. I just like, to be honest, I like the cheapest bar of milk chocolate, just plain milk chocolate. Right?
I tell you, your body's screaming at you.
It's screaming like, get another bar.
No, it's screaming at you, this is not good. That's why you have to
I
have
love
another
it.
bar, because there's no nutrition in it. It's saying,
when I'm eating it, I can't stop.
Yeah, it's saying, give me nutrition, because I'm not getting any nutrition from that.
But it makes me happy.
Does it?
Yeah.
No.
Particularly the family one, because it is kind of that temptation. This is where I need your mind therapy stuff, because I would buy the big family bar, think, well, it's good for the family, right?
Yeah.
Once I start it, you see, I have to sneak back in an hour. If I get myself a drink, well, just another bar, a break off a piece of chocolate, but it's normally like 4 big pieces, and then a bit later, oh, I need another piece. I've got to get more.
Yeah, I mean, that's what carbohydrates and sugar do to you. They make you crave more, because what happens is you get a blood spike,
yeah,
and then your insulin comes in to reduce your blood glucose level.
That's
and
why.
Then you crave more.
Yeah, I think we all could do with kind of some of your kind of therapy, in the way that we understand what we eat and why we eat it, and how it's going to affect us, and the nutritional value that we get from it, because I have no idea anymore. I just think that if you get green vegetables and you eat a few a day, then that's okay. And apple
that's good. I mean, but make sure you have some good fat with it, so that you can absorb the vitamins in them.
I mean, I went back to real butter because everyone said, oh no, you've got to have margarine, right? And then I never liked the taste of margarine, but people, it's better for you, get rid of that fatty butter. So I went to margarine, never liked the taste, particularly on toast in the morning, right? It's got to be butter, and lots of it, right? So then we went back to butter, and I love it. And then said, oh, butter is better for you. And I thought, oh, thank goodness for that. So I'm waiting for them to say chocolate is good for you, because then...
Well, chocolate can be good for you. Chocolate is really super nutrient rich. There's iron, there's zinc, there's calcium, there's magnesium,
Yeah, see,
and there's antioxidants. It's super good for you, but it's just the other crap that putting in with it.
yeah.
So, you know, it's just, you have, you know, go for a quality chocolate, and then you're actually doing your body good instead of harm.
Anyway, so let's move on to a bit more about what you do. So you, where are you in your business? So you started a business, you've got Nosh Rocks. So anyone that wants to find out about Nosh Rocks, I mean, as you said, Nosh is a slang word in English for food, and it rocks because you're the rock chick, right?
Yeah.
And it should be good for you. I mean, you're also saying don't give up kind of the foods that you like, but you make sure that you add the ones that give you the energy or the nutritions that you need.
So, you know, add the foods that you like, add the foods that the food that you like, but in a nutrition that's actually rich in nutrients, you know. So chocolate that's rich in nutrients, that's going to really fire up your body. You know, if you take pumpkin seeds and grind them down and add raw cocoa powder, and then add a good fat, you can even add cocoa butter or ghee or coconut oil and a little bit of sweetener, and it's, you know, the taste is far superior, and you won't crave as much, because you don't have, you've got good fat there, and you're getting lots of vitamins and minerals.
Right. So just going back, because you said you lost so many kilos, how many kilos did you lose?
Well, in fact, I lost about 30, but then I had to put some back on.
30?
30, yeah.
Wow. So you're a bit of a fatty.
No, I'm quite tall, so I could get away with it. But you know, so but I dropped from size 16 to size 8.
Wow.
In sizes.
So this was because obviously what happened with your friend, or it made you realize it's kind of a wake-up call that you should do something for yourself as well.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't do it to lose weight. I did it because I just felt that the way that we were eating wasn't supporting our bodies. And actually, within 2 weeks, my husband, he used to pop antacid tablets all the time. Yeah. He had packets in each jacket. Within 2 weeks, that stopped completely.
All right, so you introduce kind of all of that into the programs now, so you can help all of us here in a way, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, you know, if someone wants to, you know, if someone does a food diary for of what they're eating and drinking, what, when, why, and how it makes them feel, I'm happy to have a review and then just show them, just give them advice where they can tweak it to add nutrient-rich food so that it supports your body better.
Okay, so this is for everybody. Is it for children as well, or are you focused on a certain particular age group?
Well, they say that, you know, you've got to focus. So I mean, my plan is to focus on women over 30, because they're usually the ones that are controlling the food in the house. But you know, it's not saying that men can't go on it. It's whatever. At the moment, I'm in the process to pivot to create an online program. But I'm looking for high-level partners, because I've had a big aha moment this week, because basically I've been trying to solve or help solve the global humanitarian obesity crisis on my own, and I've been playing too small, and I need to play big to scale this message up, because you know, we know from Dr. Robert Lustig what causes metabolic syndrome. Metabolic syndrome is like type 2 diabetes, obesity, all these lifestyle related diseases, heart disease. So we know from him what causes it. So I want to help create a program that's so holistic that can get, you know, to get to people, reach as many people as possible, because it's not people's fault if they're overweight or unhealthy. And you can be thin on the outside, but you can actually be fat on the inside. So you can, like, you know, you can be like children's type 2 diabetes is going off the scale, even in Switzerland. And it's because all this sugar that they're eating that's creating fatty liver disease, which is leading to type 2 diabetes. And that's been proven by Dr. Robert Lustig in his talk, What is Metabolic Syndrome Anyway?
Yeah, it was, yeah. I mean, they talked about too much salt was bad for you, and now they're saying that the sugar is the killer. So I tell you, we kind of follow mainstream all the time. We go, whatever we see in the supermarkets, this is the healthy section, and we don't know. It's just because they're telling us it is. So you have to do some research. So to come to someone like you that's actually done that work for us.
Do you know there's something that's really quite disturbing at the moment. Is a lot of this move towards like fake meat or non-meat meat.
Processed.
But actually it's just processed crap. And this, I don't know, I've read a lot of the ingredients in them, and it's like there's seed oils and sugars in there. So it's a bit of a concern that people think they're eating healthy because it's a vegan burger, but actually it's still got the same chemicals that are causing the metabolic syndrome and obesity. And
so it's something that we shouldn't be naive to, because we all eat at least 3 times or so a day. And if we don't have the good health, then it affects our business and our lifestyle and everything else that we do. But we don't seem to put the emphasis and the importance on it. We just eat for the sake of eating because we're hungry. And because, sorry?
No, carry on.
Yeah, so to have some education on that, because I focus, although I like eating food and everything, I've also changed the way I eat as well, because I found that, particularly working from home, it's easy to eat and you're doing less exercise. I'm not even leaving the house some days, right? Which is terrible. So really not good for you. Then you put on weight and everything else, and then it kind of snowballs, and then you feel in that, it becomes hard work. So you have to compensate that or do something. So I found that, I stopped eating with the big dinner plate now. Right? I thought, I don't need that. I'm not going outside. I'm not leaving the house. And for the first week, it was hard work because I still felt hungry. But then I didn't want to give up what I liked. I just wanted to eat smaller portions. And then now I've got so used to eating the smaller portions, like the kid size portion, but that's all I needed, because I'm not doing anything. Right. So when I go around to friends for dinner and they give me the big plate, I thought, oh, shit, I've got to eat all of that. And I thought, I don't know how I'm going to eat all of that. And then I come back normally bloated and feeling uncomfortable and think, right, I need to go back to the small plates again. So we can change, but I mean, it helps if there's someone there that's hand holding you and helping you, but also with that extra kind of hypnotherapy type of work that you do as well, to get your mind straight into why you're doing it.
Yeah. Another thing you should maybe consider is intermittent fasting, because this 3 meals a day is actually something that was developed in the colonies, so that to sort of differentiate between the locals who maybe ate once a day and the people who were sophisticated and learned and that sort of stuff. But because what they're saying is, from a evolutionary point of view, we should normally only eat once a day. So we get up in the morning, we actually go and hunt for our food, and then we have our food. Well, we prepare it, we eat it, and then that's it. You don't eat for the rest of the day. But we've really got into a bad habit of constantly feeding our bodies with glucose hits.
Right. No,
so I mean, intermittent fasting is actually a good thing to practice, and it's just like 16 hours a day. So basically skipping breakfast.
Yeah, I was always told, we should bring in the audience now. I forgot about that. So just quickly, Walter, before, I was always told breakfast was the most important meal of the day.
Yeah, that was developed by the cereal companies. But actually, breakfast isn't the most important meal of the day. If you feel hungry, eat. If you don't feel hungry,
my Scottish porridge with salt on. Anyway, water. This is the moment. Actually, sorry. This is the moment we should open up to the audience, right? The audience to ask questions, and then we kind of conclude of where you are now and what help you need to move this forward. So, Walter.
Okay, I was just trying to bridge to a business point of view. The thing is, when you start a business, especially in the field that you're in, Rowena, or many others of us.
Rowana.
So, sorry, yeah. See, I have a neighbor whose name is Rowena, and you look like a sister to her. My apologies.
No problem.
And the point is that you know, we try to listen to people. We try to find people's pain points. Okay, being overweight, not feeling well, being fatigued, feeling fatigue all the time. These are pain points. But I think the biggest of all pain points is that all of the people who are suffering from any food-related crisis, they have tried at least once or 5 or 10 or 15 or 20 times something new, and nothing really helped. So they will dabble into something, and if it doesn't show instant results, they will give up. So how do you approach that? How you catch the people to believe you that they will get instant, or if not instant, but at least sustainable, lasting results?
Well, that's the thing. It's you know, it can't be instant, because you know it's taken you however many years to get to reach this stage. I just want to say a point. It's like now it's really relevant what I'm doing, because what they're finding is that people with compromised immune systems are really suffering the worst symptoms of COVID. So and a lot of us are really low in nutrition. Like we're really suffering from lack of vitamins and minerals, especially vitamin D, vitamin B12, zinc, magnesium and selenium. But anyway, what I offer is like it's a guided change of eating habits, and it's a gentle introduction. It's not about for the first week, it's a rite of passage. So the first week or two is about reviewing what you're eating, why you're eating, when you're eating, and how it's making you feel. Then it's about starting to learn about what food is good for your body, what food is nutrient rich, and how you can actually get that into your lifestyle. So have a look at how you like to eat, and then see if you can tweak it to add more nutrients in. Because when you eat more nutrient rich food, you actually don't crave as much. And then there's the hypnotherapy. Now you can actually do standard hypnotherapy, so a generic script, which is it's like self-hypnosis meditation. And it's just, a lot of it is about telling you that you are enough, you're amazing, you don't have to overeat, because we're all born. None of us were born with this need to constantly eat. We just ate until we were hungry and then we'd stop. So we're genetically programmed just to eat until we're hungry and then stop. But the type of food that we're eating is not supporting that instinct. So you can do generic hypnotherapy strips, and then there's the other option is actually to do personalized scripts or personalized sessions, to actually go back to find out what the root cause of your need to overeat is. And what you do is you reframe the beliefs that you created, during this trauma in your time, and code in positive beliefs.
Yeah, so Maya mentioned also that she did the fasting.
Yes.
Can Maya tell something about her experiences about that?
Yeah.
I tried. Okay. Hi, Rowena. Sorry for being late.
No problem.
I tried intermittent fasting for 1 year, and that year I was pretty stressed out, and I used to eat a lot, overeat actually, and I gained a lot of weight. So I saw it online and I thought, why not try it? And I'm also someone who forgets to drink water. So when I started intermittent fasting, I started consuming a lot of liquids like herbal tea and water. And I ate like a lot of vegetables that have water in them, like cucumber and lettuce and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it made me feel pretty healthy. I don't know how to describe this, but you just feel like toxins are like leaving your body, and I feel super energetic, especially in the morning. And I stopped overeating, which is good.
Excellent.
Yeah.
How did your day look like, Maya?
Excuse me?
How did your day look like? The eating day, let me put it like that.
Basically, I break my fast around 2 p.m. and I eat like a small plate of rice and veggies because I don't eat meat, so I have to eat something that has a lot of fiber and vitamins. And then I have like a small dessert. Sorry, I have like a fruit, or sometimes I would just have another cup of tea, and it will make me like feel full till the rest of the day. Because when fasting for a long time, you get hungry to the point that you don't feel like eating anymore. That's how I felt.
So actually you ate twice a day?
No, I ate once.
Okay. You said a little dessert.
Yeah, just right after
Okay.
like my first meal.
Okay.
Just one fruit.
Why'd you ask?
Well, I started, I was a fantastic meat eater until 2014. Then I had a heavy pneumonia, which took me out of work for 1 year. So my daughter said, why don't you have a look at 𝗬𝗢𝗨𝗥, the documentary? And there they explain what all these kind of processed foods do with your body, especially in the US. And they did some 10-year investigation with people who were eating a lot of, had a lot of cancer actually. So that made me do a tryout for 3 months, eating no meat anymore. And I'm not doing that now since 2014. Actually, I started from being a vegetarian to a vegan, and now I'm on a 𝗓𝗍𝗓 diet, because not every food is right for everyone. Someone could be very well be very healthy with eating chicken meat, for example, but someone else wouldn't be, doesn't have the right body for that. So I'm also trying to find out. I'm still having troubles with my lungs, and that was the reason for me to start eating completely different. I lost some 12 kilos, not by having some kind of diet, but just by eating differently and doing a lot of exercise, walking. The only time I walked was to and from the car or to the airport terminal. Now I'm walking in the woods. So I changed my look on life differently. And fasting is something that I'm interested also in. And on the sugar part, James, it's processed sugar. I mean, fruits have sugar, and that's okay. And if you look at the documentary, what processed sugar does with your body, actually, it uses your body to unpack the processed sugar. And that's why it's so bad for you. It's not bad to eat sugar, but processed sugar it is. But the documentary 𝗬𝗢𝗨𝗥 will give you a good insight on that.
Yeah, you should share the link. So,
Gert, can I just say, I mean, fructose you know, when it's seasonal local fruit, that's fine. But actually, if you're drinking fruit juice, its fructose is really not good. I can't recommend strongly enough Robert Lustig's talk, What is Metabolic Syndrome Anyway? Because it's an incredible insight as to how like fructose it doesn't give you a blood glucose hit, but it actually gets stored in your liver, and it causes gout and things like that as well. So just, you know, seasonal local fruit, but you know, in whole fruit, not juice.
Yeah, well, the documentary 𝗬𝗪𝗧 gave me a good insight what meat does with you, and they had fantastic examples on Chinese people who were eating very healthy. They moved to Hawaii, and their children started being very, very fat because they started eating processed foods in the US.
Yeah.
So that was a good example of that, well, it gives you a good insight, but it's personal, of course. It's what you believe in. It's mindset.
Yeah. But I mean, if you are going to eat meat, then make sure it's really good quality and it's from animals that have been treated well.
Correct. Yeah.
You know, and eggs and things like that. Just make sure you get the best quality that is, you know, that has been, you know, it's come from a good source that they've been fed good stuff as well.
Yeah, a golden chicken.
Yeah. So that's why, James.
Yeah, yeah, thanks.
Not corn-fed chicken.
No.
Chickens eat worms.
Yeah, and no soya. Don't eat soya.
Unfortunately,
don't eat soya.
You cannot run out of time. So just quickly, where you are now, and what is it that you could do with any help with, or what is it that you're doing with your business? And you mentioned about this program, and can we find out more information? Can you share the links and everything? And yeah, just kind of wrapping up now, Rowana.
Okay. Well, the program is not actually. I have not developed the 90-day challenge yet. What I'm doing is I'm working with Industry Rockstar. I'm going to do a pitch perfect workshop in the next 6 weeks, and it's about trying to finding strategic partners to be able to take this to another level. You know, I'm happy to give, you know, if anyone wants to chat or anything, wants some advice, I'm happy to talk to them. But I want to see how this thing develops with Industry Rockstar, because as I say, I think I've been playing it too small to get to the level of people that I want to reach. Because I've actually been in touch with Virgin Pulse, because they have an excellent fitness program, but the food is based on you know, the UK Wellness Plate, which has been slammed in the European Parliament and by the British Diabetic Association. But this Industry Rockstar, they're actually partners with Richard Branson. So I'm hoping maybe I can actually get something going in there. You know, 𝗬𝗪𝗧 Lakiani in Mind Valley, and also Marissa Peer has a Perfect Weight Forever program, which I'm trying to negotiate with them to see if we can get actually healthier food, so make it a whole holistic program so that I don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah, you should reach out to Jamie Oliver as well, maybe.
Yeah, that's maybe an option, but you know, I don't know what's happening with him, because he seems to be overweight at the moment.
He does, actually.
Sorry?
He could do with your help, that's why. Yeah.
No, so I'll, you know, if anyone wants some, you know, information, you know, I'm happy to give them. In the meantime, I'm actually looking, I want to try this route to try and accelerate it.
Yeah, what you could do on here as well, do a kind of an 𝗏𝗏est group, and then talk about this and get an audience to come on, share their experiences, see if people there can network and help you reach out to other people, and you know, create your own online event.
Yeah.
Just to educate people, because I mean, just having this call alone is kind of a wake-up call for us to think twice about what we eat.
Yeah.
And why we eat it, and could we change that and preserve our life longer and fight any immune and any problems.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just about having a long life, it's having a long, active, healthy life. Exactly. You know, being feeling fully alive. Yeah. And you know, and it's not people's faults. There's no criticism ever. It's just I want people to. I want to inspire people to understand that we're all amazing. We've got the most amazing machines on the planet, but like a supercar, you don't give a supercar crap oil and crap fuel. Mm-hmm. If you give it a supercar good fuel, good oil, then it'll last for years longer, and you get so much more pleasure because it runs smoother, there's less breakdowns. We're all supercars. In fact, we're actually more amazing than supercars. Just need to give us the right fuel.
So you've got some good analogies that you can use, because when people picture something like that, then it resonates. Otherwise, people just hear talk and then they think 5 minutes later they've forgotten about it. But if you picture that in their mind, that we are supercars, and put the right fuel in, and you'll get the best performance.
Yeah.
And word things so powerful with their wording that it makes you sit up and listen. Otherwise, it's like any business. If you're just the same as, people just turn the other way and carry on. But you have to be out there in their face and with something, statements and stuff. But anyway, on that note, that's
just one thing. If you want to supercharge a car, you give it nitrous oxide. If you want to supercharge your body, you give it nitric oxide, and you find that in beetroot. So, hey, supercharge your body.
Some beetroot. We'll be rushing out to buy beetroot. So to find out more about you and to check out your information, if you can provide that in the end nest under the event itself.
Yeah, sure.
And then people can see the links. Also, I'll look at the notes here and see if I can copy those across as well, so people can see, because there was some good chat whilst you were talking. And I thank you once again, Roanna, for being our 29th guest. It was a pleasure to have you. Definitely an insight from my perspective into what I should be doing. I'm going to check the cupboards now and eat all of that chocolate, right? I mean, is coffee good for you?
Coffee is really high in antioxidants.
Okay, so my coffee and bar of chocolate's okay.
Love my coffee.
I'll carry on with that then.
A few of us give a big fist pump.
Exactly.
Coffee and good chocolates that you make yourself. Mm-mm.
There was a popular advertisement in Bulgaria. What happened? We drink coffee, and then what? We didn't sleep all the night.
Right. So just quickly, for the new people, that's the first time on here. Did you enjoy it? Would you come again, or you think, no, boring?
You really expect them to answer truthfully?
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Of course.
Last time was my last time, so I respect it.
That's great.
I've made about 24 of these.
Right. Excellent. So next week is kind of the Christmas special. So I haven't decided how we're going to do it yet, but it should be something that we all participate in, right? So something a bit different. But if you've got any ideas, then let me know.
What about wearing a hat, and then everyone has to tell the story of their hat?
Wear a hat, and then you have to tell the story about the hat.
Yeah.
Why that hat?
Yeah. I can put my right cowl on.
I don't know if I've got a hat story. I'd have to make one up.
Well, that's what you do, isn't it? Storytelling.
Right, so everybody's going to wear a hat and then tell a story about that hat.
Well, it's just an idea.
Carry like this around you to.
Or maybe we have a hat and we pass it on to the next one, and they have to carry on the story.
Or an item of clothing.
Ooh. That's
dangerous. It's okay, you're keeping it on, Eva.
That's dangerous. I'm not saying anything. You brought the idea, girl.
Right, okay.
I've got an old motorbike jacket that I bought when I was 21. Stopped 7 years ago. I nearly threw it out, and now it fits me perfectly.
Oh, excellent.
There you go, girl.
Because
Yes.
we're kicking.
Oh yeah, you've got your. I don't know if you want to play it. Do you want to play it?
No, it's because it's not ready yet. It's I've written a song about kicking out high carbs and going back to the basics. Great grandma knew best. Great fat in the morning gives you such zest. Fat loving vitamins K, A, D, and E gives back to your body vitality.
You wrote that.
There you go. Well done.
A rapper. You're a rapper chick now.
Yeah, no, it's actually. Do you want to hear it? It's quite loud.
Yeah,
You have time.
Where
is it?
People don't want to go, you see. We're finished now.
I want to hear the song.
Me too.
Okay, here we go. Chicken. Kicking our high carbs. Moffat will help you take on those carbs. Kicking our high carbs. Stomp out addiction to deadly
Nice.
This is it.
This is
Wow.
it.
It's so cool.
You're on the guitar.
well, you know, I'm the front woman. Stamp out addiction to deadly pure and white.
Where's the link? Drop us the link.
No, the song's actually not finished yet because I've only got one verse, and I need a musician and a singer.
Yeah, we had a singer on here.
Sorry?
We've had a singer on here.
Yeah, no, it's so it needs tweaking.
Yeah. What we should do is, I mean, I'd be interested in your program, right? When you got it ready, the 90-day plan. So yeah. I could offer you my program, because I have a number of different programs to actually help you with your visibility, particularly on LinkedIn. So I could offer you my program if you offer me your program, and then we kind of help you.
I'll show you yours if you show me mine.
Yeah. We could do kind of program trading, right? Actually,
Peter's son's
yeah, we got a singer already.
metal, because I mean it is that sort of
yeah, so you need to find a singer.
That's appropriate.
If you want him, I don't know how you do that across the ocean, but he probably would be up for it if it, sounds like you have the right beat.
Yeah.
And James' son plays the piano. You can form a band.
My son plays the piano.
I don't think it's piano music.
He plays.
Tim plays the bass, so I don't know if that's important for you. You sound like you had a lead, but no bass.
You what?
Have we got any singers here? Any singers here?
Well, Peter's son's a rock singer.
I think that you need a particular kind of voice for that kind of music as well.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody.
The thing is, we can always make a pop. We can always make a pop version as well. We're kicking.
Okay, I see where you're going. You want to tap on all the different.
Tim sings like Metallica and Mastodon and all those, hard metal singers.
I'm sure Pete would like to come on your program, and he could offer you some branding advice.
Pete looks very slim and healthy.
Yeah, but you said it's not about looking slim. You could be fat on the inside.
Breaking the news.
Yeah.
You're terrible, James.
It's always good to have good habits.
Yeah.
That's
I kind of know when I'm putting bad stuff in my body.
Yeah.
We were talking about eating green and leafy, and I was like, yeah, I need some of that today.
Oh, it's amazing, isn't it? Do you know, I go to this sort of permaculture farm to pick up my veg pannier on a Thursday morning, and I've started going and helping them out a bit. And then we were taking in the turnips and they're cutting off the green bits. And I said, you know, that's actually the most nutrient bit of the whole plant, and we're cutting it off.
Sorry, which one? Which one?
Green.
The green bits.
Green bit of turnips.
Ah, and turnips. What about on carrots, the green bit at the top of the carrot?
Yeah, I mean, they're highly nutritious, really.
So we're eating the wrong bit of the carrot.
Yeah. Well, you know, you can eat the whole lot. You know,
Right.
it's not about right and wrong. It's just about.
But you say beetroots are the number one if you're going to eat any.
Beetroot leaves amazing. Nitric oxide.
Avocado, is that good?
Avocado's good, but then it's not seasonal and local, so that's what you've got to be concerned about.
Because there's that guy in the US, the avocado guy. What's his name?
This is my fermented.
The beetroot.
This is my fermented beetroot.
Oh,
When you ferment it, it actually gets rid of the sugar as well, or reduces the sugar.
Ah, you could make beetroot whiskey. Since you're from Scotland.
Okay, man. Okay.
No, why don't you do that? Like, you could like create a new beetroot whiskey, say it's the best whiskey for you because it's healthy. And it's
because that's one of the, you know, alcohol's another thing that causes fat in the liver. So, you know, it's not, it's not about never having a glass.
Stop eating.
No,
anyway.
No, it's about, would you rather have fruit juice or would you rather have a glass of wine? Well, I'd rather have a glass of wine.
Heck yeah.
So when you actually, Maya, that was your question. So fruit juice. I mean, when you get these, I mean, I like the kind of that blackcurrant fruit juice, but that's not good for you. I also people say, oh, red fruits are good for you. Get the blackcurrant one, not the apple juice.
No, have some fruits which are local in season. But you know, we only really had fruit in, you know, late summer, autumn, and then we never had it for the rest of the year. And now we've got it 24/7, 365, and it's actually, you know, it's just too much fructose, which goes straight to the liver. Like sorry?
Because I freeze my fruits, like non-seasonal.
Eat a piece of the fruit, because if you squeeze it, you know, that's four oranges. You wouldn't actually eat 4 oranges.
Even strawberries.
Well, you strawberries, if they're in season, you know, but why are you mushing them up? You know,
I have a bunch of frozen strawberries in my fridge. I can't eat them. I have to make a smoothie or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, if it's just strawberries, yeah, but then if you're adding apple juice for sweetness, then yeah.
No, I actually don't like adding sugar to my food, nor salt either. So
I think I've got to go. I need a coffee and some chocolate. Victoria, do you like chocolate? Because you kept smiling when I mentioned chocolate. Love it.
I love chocolate.
Everybody loves chocolate.
Yeah, but I keep myself away from it. So.
But you don't have to if you make it yourself with raw cocoa powder and nuts.
Send me the recipe.
Yeah, we need the recipe, Romana.
I have a tip for you guys. Whenever I crave chocolate, I add cocoa powder to my white rice and eat it, and it tastes exactly like chocolate.
Right?
What's that?
This is cocoa powder, and it's got protein, calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, and iron. But it's also got zinc.
Wow.
I can smell it from here.
That's a vivid imagination you have. That's great.
And anyway, we should wrap it up. We're done.
Okay.
Unless you all
James, you're running to the kitchen to get your chocolate and your coffee. That's why you are in such a hurry.
I need a pee.
Straight to get your chocolate and your coffee, aren't you?
See you in McDonald's later. Bye.
All right. So anyway.
Oh, that is bad for you.
Bye.
Right. So thank you very much.
Bye.
Thank you, James. Thank you, Romana.
Thank you, James.
See you next week.
Thank you, Romana.
James, great job.
Bye.
Romana, great to meet you.
Have a great weekend. Thanks, everyone.
And
thanks, Moana.
Yeah. Ciao.
Right. I'll see you next week. The party hats on.
Yeah.
Yeah, hats are good. I like that idea.
Yeah. All right. But next week should be like this. It's a kind of everybody's the guest, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not going to have a
Well,
guest per
when
se.
people are having their hats on, they're
Yeah, we'll have
they're the
hats.
guest.
We could do kind of 1 hour of all sorts of different things.
Well, I mean, just a piece of clothing, but not your knickers.
I'll
I
put
don't
them
want
on,
to see your
I'll put them
boxer
on my head, right? And I'll be Superman. Or something.
I thought Scotsman didn't wear knickers.
Oh yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's true. I have to wear my kilt.
That's too much information. That's a visual I don't even want to think.
Yeah.
Not at all.
All right, good weekend, guys.
Right.
Take care.
Okay, then.
Great weekend.
Thanks,
Take care,
everyone.
Pete.
Bye.
Nice seeing
Bye.
you.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye, guys.
See you
Take
later,
care.
Francis.
Thanks.
Okay.
Was it good?
I thought so, but what did you think?
Excellent. Really good. But if you provide all the links and everything, then people have got that. And I'll send you a copy of this recording.
Yeah, okay.
All right, excellent. Have a great weekend.
Okay, ciao.
Thanks, bye.